Welcome to the Rondo.
Come on. Yeah. Second season.
The Barclays Premiers League is back.
Come on. It's back.
First game week of the season, and it's been interesting. It's been very interesting. But before we get into all of that, let me introduce the members of the pod today. We have Raphael supporting Manchester United.
Come on.
We have AA supporting Merseyside Red.
Come on.
We have Marcus supporting the Mighty Blues.
Come on, Chelsea.
And I'm also another Mighty Blues fan on the pod today, Marcus again. Let's go.
Come on.
So, where else to start but the game at the Bridge today? Todd Bowley versus John Henry. Clear Lake versus FSG. Caicedo versus Lavia.
It's an American Civil War.
Billionaire versus billionaire. Money versus money.
Bam for bam. Machine for machine.
That's it.
Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon.
And it ended 1-1. Anyway, so
First, innit?
what should we start with? Let's get Marcus's opinion today. So obviously the game ended 1-1. It was a bit of I'll say it's an even game. Maybe Chelsea edged it a bit. What was your take from the game?
I say we played well today. I'm gonna like Enzo was balling out today.
Facts.
He was
Second
a
half.
madman. Yeah, one of the best men on the pitch today, without a doubt. I'd say we probably missed a bit of Nkunku today. I feel like if we had him, we could have maybe got a win, in my opinion. We just needed a little bit extra up top, but overall, great performance, especially that first half.
So you're impressed?
Yeah, I was
in
impressed.
general?
I was impressed, especially with, whole new team.
More than the second.
I feel like it was more the second game we like controlled it a bit more, but the first half, like,
More chances.
more chances.
Okay,
Like,
fairs,
we could
fairs,
actually get a
fairs.
goal. The second half was a bit more just boring.
Yeah,
Possession
okay,
wise, you know what I mean?
makes sense still.
You know what I mean? But I feel like you guys were better in the first half as well. You were a bit
But
mundane.
first
in the
half an
second
hour,
half.
I think Liverpool were the better team by far.
Yeah,
I feel like Liverpool were a level above. They looked much more ready in the first half an hour. I feel like Chelsea, the passes weren't coming correct. Yes, there was chances here and there, but I didn't see any rhythm to our play. But after that, we started to connect a bit more,
Your
play
last
better
15
football.
of the first half,
It
jeez.
was cold, like we were, and obviously we both scored 2 offside goals as well. It was quite an interesting game, but I feel like there's a lot of lessons to be learnt and negatives to be found from both teams, to be honest. But I'm going to let you kick off, AA. You watch Liverpool. You're the biggest Liverpool fan I know. Let's go.
So I guess that first half, that was coming a bit like a basketball game, man. I don't even know there, man. In fact, that first half, it was coming like a Lighty's Twitter bio back in the early 2010s. No DMs. No DMs, bro. Like, you wonder why these two clubs are like bidding over 100 million for defensive
You're a ridiculous human
midfielders.
being.
This is that Lighty's Instagram.
Yeah, the setup was nice though.
Bro, it was coming like that, bro. Like it was mad, man. It's probably more the Twitter bio actually, but anyway. But yeah, it was a madness. But I think there's still good elements from both teams that they've got like nice attacking play that they can probably instill over the season. I think both of them still need to sort out their defensive structure. But I then became quite disappointed with the second half. I felt like Chelsea really dominated the ball and looked quite comfortable. I felt like we struggled to keep it as well, and kind of overall dominated the game. And you think Chelsea are a team I expect to be a little bit behind us in terms of looking like the polished outlook. So yeah, a bit of a disappointment overall. But you know what? Yeah, I wasn't crazy surprised because Klopp in general has always Klopp needs perfect personnel, because once he's got an idea in his head of how he wants to play, nothing can make him change from how he wants to play. And it's always going to be quite offensively minded. So
Do you think the team played how he wanted to play?
I don't think. I mean, the system was what he wanted, but it wasn't delivered in the way they wanted it to be implemented.
Okay.
And that's because realistically, I think the biggest thing was that we were giving the ball away quite cheaply, and we weren't pressing as organized as we should have. And that kind of comes from, well, I guess the press being organized kind of comes from him a bit, but I also feel like, I don't know, you have players there, you have players kind of shifted around in the midfield that they ain't really playing in their natural positions, you know what I mean? You got McAllister playing as a DM, he's not a DM. You got Gakpo playing as an 8. So I feel like that feeds into the press being disorganized. But the biggest thing was, on the ball under pressure, not being able to keep the ball as much as we should. You know what I'm saying? If you're inverting Trent and you're allowing Chelsea to have that ball over to the wing back, you got to keep the ball, because you know what's happened. Every time we lose it, boom, boom. And Chelsea were just banging that. Switches both sides coming. They were feeding them, switch, recycle, and we just could not stop them from just moving the ball around. So yeah,
I have a question for you if I have to.
yeah.
So do you think that the lack of control was a personnel issue? So just lacking a defensive midfielder, someone that can keep the ball ticking, or do you think it's a coaching issue? Because the way I see it, I think Klopp, he's stuck in two minds. So it's clear he wants to go for a more controlled outlook with Trent kind of inverted.
Trent doesn't provide control.
Definitely not.
Nah, not at all.
It looks like that's what he's looking to do, but then at the same time, in terms of the build up and how you're launching attacks, he's almost playing like he thinks he's still got Salah and Mane and Firmino. Like there's no foreplay. You're just launching balls straight into the opposition half.
Yeah, what I think is if you get some players in the midfield that are a little bit more conservative, which is what we've kind of been looking about in the market, then Trent is the only one that should be kind of playing a bit more gun-ho, which you can allow him to do because he has the ability to unlock a defence out of nowhere. But I think it's putting 3 other players in that central area that can keep the ball, which you would think that, you know, the likes of Caicedo or Lavia, which we'll come to talk about.
I don't think Caicedo helps with that.
I think Caicedo can keep the ball. He's quite conservative on the ball.
What do you mean by conservative?
He can keep the ball, bro. He can keep it ticking.
He has a lot of progressive passes, and he plays quite rapidly. He doesn't dwell on the ball for too long. I feel like in terms of keeping the ball and possession play, if you want to retain the ball a lot more, Lavia's probably the better option.
more suited, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the one that we were first interested in. Looks like the one that we're more likely to get. We'll have to see in regards to that. And I've got a lot to say about you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
A lot to say to you and this badge in regards to all of that. But obviously, yeah, if we can get that in, I think that helps a lot, because people are looking at defensively, but on the ball, I think it would help a lot. And then, like, realistically, you need someone on the likes of, and then you got McAllister playing further forward. So if you got 2 there, Szoboszlai, I'm still trying to figure him out fully as a player. I think he's a little bit unpolished, but I see some good things in his game.
He had a good run into the box when Jota took that shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
His carrying looks
so
quite good.
greedy. Yeah, his carrying's quite good. He's quite physically
But
able.
he doesn't seem like somebody that helps with the control issues.
No, this is what I'm saying. He doesn't help with the control issues as much. His pressing is quite erratic. Like, he presses on his own out of nowhere. I know he wants to probably, you know, show to Klopp that, you know, I can press, because that's obviously a key thing. But this guy would just go and that's what him and Gakpo were doing. Like, they'll just kind of go, and the rest of the team's not gone, and that's just not something that we normally do. So,
Do you not think there's a coaching issue?
yeah, we've got to see.
there? Because
It's not coaching issue. They're new players. It's going to take them time to adapt to the system.
yeah,
many
but
attackers, man.
no, I think where I see the coaching issue is that I don't see that kind of front 5 as being able to carry out the very high level intense pressing of kind of the old Liverpool, or that first kind of iteration of Liverpool. They just don't have the required intensity.
Diaz can press. Gakpo can
But
press.
they're not to that same level.
Yeah, no, but
How hard
definitely not.
how hard do you think it is to learn how to press it in a good way?
I don't think it's that hard.
But no, I mean, pressing to the likes of Prime Mane is
Okay,
Yeah, Mane is different.
Yeah, Mane is
And that's
different.
my- that's
it
my
might
point.
not not be that level, but they can get to somewhere close
Decent.
enough.
I don't think the
it's going
idea
to take
is-
them time.
Yeah,
because-
the idea is that we're not that crazy though.
Yeah, but
and that we keep the ball more.
What I think is a big issue for you is that Chelsea pretty much physically they looked on a different level to you guys, especially in the second half, and that's not what you expect from a Klopp team at all. And Pochettino's not had long to instill.
I don't think they were looking. I don't think it was physically.
I think their pressing was much better. They outran you guys.
I think their pressing was more organised.
That's my point.
But it comes
Yeah,
down
but I
to
don't
the
think.
midfield.
I don't think.
only
I
had
don't
a few
think.
weeks
I
with
don't
this
think.
team.
I don't think physically that they looked a level above us. I disagree.
They definitely did.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, that's a Chelsea fan.
I think it was just a midfield difference that
I feel like they just looked more organised and had more quality. They just looked like they had more quality. I'm not sure if they have more quality, but they just look more turned up on the day. And I feel like the key thing for me is I think Klopp's a poor adaptive manager. 100%. I think Pochettino is a much better adaptive manager. You can see that Pochettino he wants to play 4-2-3-1. That's what he's been playing all pre-season.
Let me talk about this. This has enraged me. Continue. Go on.
So I was just saying, he made a system change to make best use of the personnel he had. He still hasn't got his DM, and Cuckoo was injured. Whereas Klopp went with the exact same plan when we kind of know that we don't have all the players to do that just yet. But yeah, Marcus, go on.
So before the game started, obviously I was quite excited. Chelsea's first game of the season. Throughout most of the pre-season, I saw the 4-2-3-1. It was cooking. We were having some good play. Then the team sheet came out. I saw, DRC. Okay, cool. The new centre back. Yeah. Thiago Silva. I saw it. 2 centre backs. That's all Cold War as well. I said, whoa. I've suffered for the last how many years having to do this 3 at the back, and it's,
You know what I mean?
and it's back again. Don't get it twisted. There was some good times doing the 3 at the back, but if you've been spending most of pre-season playing a certain way, if you think when the season starts, you'd go on, start as you mean to go on. Sorry. So I thought it was reactionary to Liverpool's lineup when they played more attackers, but I didn't want to have a pragmatic manager. I wanted a manager to be more, okay, this is my principle. This is how I want to go out. This is how I want my team to play. Go out and execute it. Obviously, I feel like in the first 30 minutes, we did kind of suffer from that. The players didn't really understand some of their roles. The midfield wasn't really making sense. Gallagher was the deepest midfielder. Enzo was too high up. And when you haven't been training like that, as you can tell, it's quite hard to play under the system. Yeah. They did change it up a bit in the second half. And I did feel like we saw some good patterns of play. But I feel like if we had started with our 4-2-3-1, we could have been a lot more dangerous towards Liverpool. And you might say, we didn't have Art and Kunkus and whatnot. But Chukwuemeka's good enough to play as a 10. He played as a 10 for most of the preseason. In fact, in preseason, the only time we played with a back 3 was the second half against Wrexham. And it didn't work then. So why would you go? Why would you do it again?
But it worked quite well. And I think there's a difference, bro, in terms of, there's a difference between being pragmatic and being adaptive. Do you know what I mean? I don't think, it wasn't like, the system wasn't defensive or timid. It was a balanced, relatively offensive system. He just changed it because of the personnel he had.
I don't think it was a offensive system, to be honest. I don't think Chelsea played an offensive
I said
game.
balanced. I said fairly offensive.
I think it worked well, and on a different day, I think you probably win that match.
Yeah.
I think you should have won.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have stolen it.
We would have been better if we played our
because
formation.
obviously, if Liverpool had been just a little bit more fortunate in that first 30 minutes, I think we could have because I think we go 2 ahead. I feel like it's a little bit more difficult. I mean, knowing the way that we defend, you never know you guys coming back into the game. But I think overall, Chelsea probably deserve to win the game.
Yeah, I think if Chelsea don't start so poor, I think they win that game easily.
I think we should now talk a bit about some performances. Just basically because I want to give...
Just quickly, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
What do you see as more indicative of Liverpool's season going forwards? The first half an hour of the match or the rest of the match?
The whole match is Liverpool. They'll blitz you in the first half an hour and then the rest of the game.
I think it's that. But I think if we get the right personnel, we can see a bit more of that first 30 minutes and a bit less of the mess.
I think your issue is bigger than personnel. I don't think a defensive midfielder solves what I watched.
I think we need a defender.
They need two midfielders.
You need a right back or a centre back.
You need a controller.
Yeah.
Like a proper controller.
Yeah.
Someone who can just make sure players ticking up over.
Obviously, yeah, I feel like we need one, or we have to prey on Thiago's fitness, which we know is not. Yeah, we should be serious. But you don't think? So you got Lavia, McAllister, and then Szoboszlai.
No,
you don't think that's enough control?
No.
It can work if McAllister's given the right instructions. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
I think you're still going to be so easy to bypass.
You think it might have to be 3 controlling, more like very good technical midfielders and Trent in that central space?
Yeah, so you can't really count on Szoboszlai for control aspects.
No,
so
he's not.
Let him do the attacking phase, but tell McAllister you have to be a bit more involved in just like keeping the play
ticking. Yeah.
So him and Lavia can share that responsibility.
Yeah, fair. I think that can work still.
You kind of need to play that. How like Eriksen used to play for Spurs, where he started off as a 10, but then during the match he kind of comes and starts controlling from deep. Basically what he was doing today, but next to an actual defensive midfielder. Yeah, that might help. But I still think
unsure about the Eriksen analogy, but
I don't think I can do that personally.
No,
I think he's too much attacking.
No, he can't. No, never.
No, he can't.
Never him. No, never him. I said McAllister used to do that.
You wanted to highlight some performances before you go on. I just want to talk about Enzo Fernandez. What a brilliant player there. Second half, he was amazing. The way he was switching play was amazing. and it's very hard to get the ball from him as well. I was very impressed. And
Very hard, bro. The drag backs are peak.
they're peak, bro. And that's what a 100 million player looks like,
This
my
is what I
brother.
was saying to Marcus in the car. I'll be real, like, if you guys build around Enzo correctly, people will be saying 100 mil is cheap. He's the one
Facts.
out of the people that he is the 100 million midfielder. You see Rice, yeah. You see even Caicedo, yeah.
Forget them, man,
Them
bro.
them man are
Forget
100
them,
million
man.
midfielders, bro. Enzo is, bro.
Enzo, yeah, man.
Enzo is. Even Bellingham. I feel like Enzo's better than Bellingham.
They played each other, and Enzo was better.
I
so
swear
that-
down. I
we'll
swear
leave
he's
it
better
there.
than him. You know what I mean? I feel like Bellingham was rightly priced, but English premium came into it, innit?
100%.
Yeah.
So what other performances do you want to highlight?
You know what I'm saying? It's not really his overall performance, innit? But in terms of Salah, yeah, I've just been hearing a lot of disrespect on his creative ability, bro, on his game outside of goal scoring. I've been saying for a while, bro. Salah can play some really good passes, but I'm just always hearing there seems to be this myth around him that all the guy can do is score, bro. The guy can pass, bro. The guy can create. I saw a stat just before the game started. Since the beginning of the 21-22 season, Salah's got the most assists in the Premier League. He's had a golden boot since then, by the way, just to say that. But we need to start respecting his creative back because that pass today, yeah, nothing short of world class. Nice. If De Bruyne makes a pass like that, Neville starts going, in the commentator booth, yeah. So that's all I'm saying, innit?
Yeah,
Start respecting his creative back because this ain't a goal scorer. Salah's a complete footballer.
Why did your manager not respect his creative back today? Why did he get hooked?
I don't know what I wouldn't say hooked, but hooked in the context of a player like himself. But yeah, I think taking him off for the last 15 minutes was odd, especially for Ben Doak. It's not really like he did much. I like Ben Doak as well, by the way. I think he's a great talent, but it was just odd for me. Not sure what was going on there. Maybe he wasn't playing the best, but I don't think the team was playing the best. So I just thought it was kind of odd. But yeah, we'll see, man. Hopefully that Saudi bid's not looking a little bit more attractive to Salah right now. Anyone else want to
You have any players you want to
talk about? I feel like you man should talk about Jackson.
Yeah, I'll say Jackson had a good performance. He just needed a goal today, really. I think he could have scored when he had that chance. When he hit on the crossbar, I think he should have scored that. He was quite well as well. He was quite bullying Van Dijk and Konate.
I was impressed.
Bullying.
Okay.
Let's
done first game,
was a
though.
good battle. Was a good battle.
But these are two very physical centre backs, and he
definitely commendable.
he held his own.
But my man was saying bullied. Come on.
I feel like
He done well against both of them.
against
It was 2 against 1.
less physical centre backs, and maybe there's a few in the league, but not all teams have that. Against less physical centre backs, he's going to dominate them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
Because them two are massive, and he done a great job against them too. I won't deny.
He's nice in tight spaces as well. He's not just pace and
Did
power.
you see his
like
run
that.
at the end of the match?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Gee,
There was one he had in the first half as well when he managed. I think there was 3 players around him, and then he managed to like drive into the box still and get a shot. off.
Yeah. No, bro, he's good, man. Yeah,
He's just a bit
He's
wide,
better than
but-
I was expecting him to be. So
it was even
I'm
one
happy about that.
one he had where he was basically in a foot race with Konate and he had a bit of a head start, but I was just thinking, I was kind of pretty calm in that situation. I'm used to Konate just eating up those yards, and I was thinking, hey, he's just going. He breathes, man. He kept the distance.
He has the pace and power. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Konate, though.
He wasn't great today, Konate. I'll be honest. He
Nah, I
made
don't
a
think
few
he was.
errors, a few mistakes.
Yeah.
bozo
It was a bit of a shit. No, he hasn't got the bozo gene. That's such a drag.
He lost a step out and for no reason.
Yeah.
He's proactive. That's the thing.
Yeah, and he gets
That's
it
one
wrong a
word
bit.
for
Yeah, positioning wise, he's a bit too eager. I will admit that, but he's young, innit, for a centre half.
24,
was he
no?
like 20? Yeah.
He's 25.
Ish, I can't really hit. No, he's not. Well, yeah, actually, to be fair, this season he needs to start getting that out. Yeah, he's not too young no more. Yeah,
You can't even drop that line.
you can't
no
drop
more.
that line no more. Yeah, time's been going.
But anyway, I feel like the biggest thing we all both noticed about this game was the absence of DMs on both sides.
Definitely.
And that leads me into
Proper Barclays.
Caicedo versus Lavia. So before we get into this, I'm going to break down what has happened so far.
Let me get this mic ready because
So
you're a disgusting club.
we'll start. So obviously, in the transfer window, Chelsea have been
FFP breaking
interested in
club.
Caicedo. Liverpool have been interested in Romeo Lavia. We've both been haggling prices. Liverpool bidding around 42 million, even less, 37 million for Lavia when the asking price was 50 million. Chelsea bidding 70 million, 80 million for Caicedo when the asking price is 100 million. So I think about a week ago, or probably even less, Chelsea, for some reason, decided to bid for Romeo Lavia 48 million, which remember is below the asking price. Asking price is 50
Get
million.
involved in our
Fair enough.
Business.
which had nothing to do with Liverpool. We just wanted to bid for the player.
What do you mean it had nothing to do with Liverpool, bro?
Subsequently,
Good player.
Liverpool entered the race for Caicedo.
Okay.
Sounds
Remember,
petty.
what was the asking price for Caicedo again?
I believe 100 million.
And what did Liverpool bid?
I believe it was 110 million.
110 million. When the asking price for a player is 100 million. And that sent everyone into disarray.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So essentially what's happening now is that Chelsea want Liverpool to remove their bid for Caicedo, because Caicedo has said he doesn't want to go to Liverpool, he wants to go to Chelsea. And we've now put in a bid as well for Romeo Lavia for 55 million.
Yeah.
Basically saying, Liverpool, you tried to do this to us, we're going to do that same thing to you.
yeah, which just shows how low your club is.
Essentially,
Your club done it first.
I think it's just how incompetent you
No,
are.
you did it first to us.
so Todd Bowley has taken reins of this whole thing, and it's become a personal thing for both Todd Bowley and John Henry. I don't think Henry would have come to the UK if it wasn't for this whole deal. So now these two American billionaires are at war with each other. Remember, these lot own the Red Sox back in America and LA Dodgers.
Oh, is LA Dodgers?
LA Dodgers.
Okay.
Back in, there's a baseball teams, yeah? So they're used to going out with each other. This means something to
I
them.
think it's just spite. 'Cause
This is a pride
that
thing.
bastard, John Henry, yeah, he never pulls out as well.
Bro,
For him to pull
when I
out
saw that bid,
110 mil for
So where
Caicedo.
did this money come from?
He said he's
Bro.
showing I'm the biggest Boston billionaire. Don't be messing with me.
Anyway, what's your take on the whole situation here, man?
So my take on the whole situation, right? Like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like Liverpool have dragged it to where it's gone now. I do think Liverpool should probably just rescind their bid. We should just go get Lavia. We should go get Caicedo. But I'm just thinking, I just think Chelsea deserve this. I don't like the way you guys have been moving since you got Bowley. You just like, you found this loophole in FFP, yeah? And it's like, okay, when you first found the loophole, I was like, oh yeah, like fair enough, you know, it's a little loophole.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Use it a bit to try and get some young players on your books. But this guy's just gone mad with it. He's just chucking money at, he wants every young player in Chelsea, and he wants them all on death row contracts just so he can, I don't know what his plans are going forward. So we've got you got your thing going over with Caicedo with Brighton. Fair enough, yeah. I think Brighton's asking price is
Ridiculous.
is
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
I'm going to get into that.
We'll get into
Brighton,
that,
man.
yeah. We've got our thing with Southampton. Their asking price not too ridiculous, but given the fact they are a relegated club,
Yeah.
it's a little bit cheeky.
But
it's
it makes sense because next year they're guaranteed 40 million at least from Man City with the
Yeah. But they do need to sell now, innit? Like, well, not need to. Otherwise, they've got a heavily like Lavia don't want to play for them. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So they want. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a position where you kind of, that's already kind of happened, and you need to sell.
Sorry. What was it? Hold on, I just deep something. Liverpool bidding 37 million when they can sell him for 40 million next season is awful.
Very cheeky.
It's awful.
Very cheeky. But all I'm saying is, we had our thing going, you had your thing going. Every time you man got to get involved. You guys have been doing this. You did it with like some Barca targets. You've done it with some.
It wasn't personal
some
to
Arsenal
you,
targets.
brother.
Bro, why are you coming in and bidding? Because now
Do you own the player?
you guys coming and doing 48 million. Means we had to get him for 50 million. So we were pissed.
Are you the only team that's allowed to bid for
what Liverpool wanted to actually do was bid 100 million for Caicedo. But obviously Brighton said highest bidder just gets him. So obviously you man bid 100. We knew that you guys were going to bid 100. It was confirmed. We got like hearing of it. So we bid 110 mil.
But why
to
would
show you, man? No. It's a thing where, yeah, don't keep us out. Because if you bring out a strap, don't be pissed if I. What's this? Don't be pissed if I bring out a chopper. No, bro. But it's my shoe from my seat.
But your chopper jammed. The bullet's jammed. There's some blowback on that one.
A little blowback, but at the end of the day, we've done what we needed to do.
You've messed up the whole situation.
We messed up the whole situation, but we're making you pay more for Caicedo, which I'm happy.
But they
about.
don't care
but
about
then you're
that. That's what
gonna
they
pay more
do.
as well.
You guys are ending up with nothing.
No, we're gonna get Lavia.
You see what the problem is?
Lavia don't want to go to.
No,
them.
you see what the problem is, yeah?
Yeah.
Chelsea are realizing, okay, in a situation where they want you to rescind your bid, yeah? But they're saying, if Liverpool are not going to do it, all right, cool, we're going to have to fork out some more money for Caicedo, but we're not going to let you get Lavia. If you make Chelsea pay more than 110 million,
You think that's what
I
will happen?
promise you will not get Lavia.
We'll get Lavia.
I promise
He
you.
doesn't
you
want to
won't.
go to you.
When we made 70 million and Southampton accepted it, what are you going to do?
Because you missed the key part of the story. You man didn't like. You man went above Lavia's asking price without Southampton asking. You man were at 48 million. Southampton
But
said,
you man did the same to Caicedo.
First.
No. Brighton said it's a bidding war till midnight.
Yeah.
They were gonna.
That doesn't
and
mean you have to go above the price.
Chelsea were gonna bid 100. It's confirmed, bro. Chelsea were gonna bid 100.
So if you bid 100,
Bid 101. No, bid 101.
then
I beg you, bid 101. What's
so they bid
110 million?
No, but bro, Southampton have said Lavia is worth 50. They're not
But Chelsea
doing
done
no
that because of
auction.
what you did.
No, but just listen.
But
No, you did because we did. But you're saying you're
But not
spiteful.
once,
So you
yeah.
deserve this in the first place.
Wait, hold
but
on,
not
hold on.
once has your club shown the intent to actually bid the amount they want for Lavia. So why is this a problem?
Because what do you mean?
Not once
never
have
bid
you
50
shown
million.
the intent. You've not once shown intent to
Yeah.
spend 50 million on him.
Yeah.
So what are you complaining about?
No, so I'm saying Chelsea come in and just bid the 50. They're trying to bid 55
No,
just
hold
to
on,
spite us.
hold on.
Yeah, but you
What-
done
what-
the same thing first, isn't it?
Yeah, so fair enough. But it just shows how. Yeah, so the fact that you guys are coming with that sort of spite means you deserved it in the
Yeah,
first
but you were
place.
petty first, wasn't it? So you might as well be petty back. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you were petty first, but you got involved in our business with Lavia first.
It's not your. One second. It's not your business with Lavia.
Bro, you guys always doing this coming in. Just stay
Listen,
there. Yeah,
listen.
so you man wanted Lavia, so then we went and said, yeah, Cole,
No,
we can
okay,
bid
cool.
for Caicedo too. You
Cool.
thought what you man thought, yeah? You thought, yeah, we'll go and bid for Lavia, so Brighton think that
As I said, it was not personal to you.
that we got
Exactly.
options. Yeah.
That was
Literally.
You know what you thought? Yeah, you thought because we're the only one willing to pay that money for Caicedo, we're safe. We're safe. Nobody's gonna come in. So we showed you, nah, bro.
But
we got money
but
to
then you
also.
fucked up your own
bid for
base.
Caicedo.
Exactly, but you
Why?
don't want to come to
How?
you anyway.
Okay, let me explain why you fucked your own base, yeah? Because Chelsea bid 48 million for Lavia,
Yeah.
and what happened? Southampton rejected it. So either way, you were gonna have to
what
bid
I'm saying?
50 million for Lavia.
yeah.
You understand? So you could have been like, alright, cool. Chelsea have shown us that even if we bid 48 million, we're not getting this player. Let's bid their asking price. But instead of saying, okay, let's bid 50 million for Lavia, you said no, let's focus on Caicedo and bid 110 million. There's no logical
double the price.
link between the two. I don't understand.
I bet we still get Lavia for 50.
No, you
And I
thought
bet
well,
you-
you're not
and
getting
I
that.
bet
How?
you-
The price,
I bet
the
you-
price of the brick has gone up now.
I bet you still.
You've had your, this,
I bet you we still get.
You've
it for
had your
50.
pants
I
pulled
bet you
down,
we
yeah.
still
How,
get it.
how do you
I bet
get? How do
still-
you get it for 50 if
Bro, they
unless
know-
Chelsea rescind their bid?
I feel like Lavia will just say, nah, I don't want to go to Chelsea.
Who told
and
you
then
that?
they'll just take 50 for him.
We'll see. We'll see what Joe Shields is going to cook up.
Who told you what it's gonna go? How you go,
Bro.
Who are you?
I mean, I can see the I can see the signs, bro.
Man's talking like he got authority in here,
Bro.
man. Jeez. If you're not Fabrizio Ornstein,
I'm Italian, so I'm the closest thing.
Anyway, I feel like this whole thing is going to be resolved in the next 2 days. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm hoping Chelsea say F Liverpool and sign the both of them. That would be
that'll
cold.
make you very happy. innit?
Very happy. And I don't know what you lot are going to do about your midfield situation, but
If
there's
that
that.
happens, we are.
You guys are finished for
we're
the
finished
season.
still. 'Cause I
don't
don't know
even know
where
what
we're
else we can
gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I really want. Even just watching today, the way we're not like controlling, I would like someone like Lavia, man.
Why are you in for Ambra?
He's not really a long-term replacement, though, innit? I feel like
Bro, then
he's
he's
not.
calm.
Fabinho, he is.
He's calm. He's calm. But
He's
calm,
not
innit?
that old.
Yeah, was he like 28? I'm thinking, innit? Something like that.
27.
27. He's
26,
calm
27.
in it, but he don't really excite me. But obviously, he's more stable.
Yeah.
You could
But
get
for the
like 30
future,
million.
Lavia excites me a lot more. We know Amrabat's level already, innit? And I personally, some people think that if Liverpool get the right people, that will be challenging this year. I don't think that, innit?
I do.
So,
I
I
think they
thought
would.
you guys would because you got one of the best attacks
That's
in the
not what
league.
you were
personally.
saying on some pods a few months ago. But
So if we get a defender as well, if we get a
But
defender as well, we got a
rumours.
chance.
There's rumours of what's his name?
Ignacio, innit?
Ignacio.
Yeah. I feel like if we get him and we get Lavia, there's a chance. But Lavia is a bit younger than what I was expecting.
sorry, just to interrupt. A few months ago, you said if you get two
Two midfielders.
midfielders and a defender,
Yeah.
you'll win either the Premier League or the
But
Champions
they've
League.
That's
sold-
not what I
they've
said.
sold
I said
players
I said
as
we'll
well.
challenge.
That's what no.
No, I said we challenge.
I
said we're
bringing out
Either,
receipts.
either way, man. If you wanna, I said we'll challenge. You can pull out the
will
receipts.
be
if
going
you want,
back.
yeah.
Don't worry.
But what's changed is I didn't expect Fabinho to leave. Now Fabinho's like he's more used to the system. And I felt like if he had.
Well, you wanted a replacement for him.
No, I wanted an understudy for him. I wanted Fabinho to play. I thought if Fabinho's got two kind of more physical players that are better technically than what we've had, I thought he would be enough, plus a defender to essentially, make us into a proper title challenging side. But with Fabinho going, that DM role is so important. Lavia being 19, I don't think.
That's why Ambra
That's
makes
a
no
lot
sense.
of stress on his shoulders.
Yeah, Amrabat makes more sense, but I just like Amrabat ain't world class, and he ain't ever gonna be world class. He's 27. You know what I mean? I feel like Lavia can be peak, man. Honestly.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be. Lavia's not gonna be world class for another what?
At least 2 years.
At least 2 years.
Yeah.
And the whole point, you want to be challenging within the next 2 years.
I can't lie. Lavia on the clock, 24, 25. can't lie. I see him being not world class, but I see him being enough.
I agree with him here. Like the amount of talent that kid has is sensational.
Bro, I'll say it right now, yeah. By the way, Liverpool fans that are still crying about Caicedo, Lavia for 50 mil is a much better deal than Caicedo for 110 million.
Lavia for 50 mil is a better deal than Caicedo for 90 mil. Let me put that out there. I feel like Lavia has more talent than Caicedo. That's me personally.
Wow, you think he's got more?
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like that's a Rondo, like 100%, bro.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Lights go red. 100%. We need to hear a bit more about this before we go on to the next topic. What time are we on? 8:27. So you got about 5 minutes. You're struggling there. Do you want the large?
Caicedo's got a more interesting profile. That makes him more valuable, I think.
I'm not sure about
He
that.
gives you a lot
more
more
diverse,
isn't
isn't it? He's more diverse than Lavia, I'd say.
You good
Obviously,
there,
Lavia
yeah.
has got 2 years
You
on
good
him.
there, Marcus, yeah?
How old is Caicedo?
21.
21.
That's
Lavia's
a beau- that's a
19,
beautiful
innit?
age. Good age. Good age.
So
Dog.
You used to watch Soccer AM, bro.
why'd you say that with so much start?
You used to watch Soccer AM.
Nah, not
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, back in the day, so
Let
yeah.
the Rondo begin. So Marcus, I've got a couple questions with you about that statement. It's very interesting to hear that from a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Because obviously Caicedo is your prime target.
Yeah.
So why do you think Lavia is more talented than Caicedo?
So before I get into it, I'll just go over the prices. I feel like Lavia is worth 50 mil. The only reason he's a bit less than that is because he's been relegated.
Yeah.
So Southampton. I feel like Caicedo at this point in time is worth around 65 mil. That's what I feel like he's actually worth. Don't get it twisted. I feel like Caicedo's a very good player, very good defensively. He's decent on the ball as well. Has very good progressing passing, but I don't think anything he does is out of this world.
Okay.
And I don't think I've seen him dominate midfields by himself.
Okay.
He's been part of a very functional midfield for Brighton. Lavia, on the other hand, I've seen that kid single-handedly dominate Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and he done great against Arsenal as well. Against Southampton, when they took him off for some reason, that's when Arsenal got back into the game.
Against Arsenal, he was disrespecting them, man.
And this is a 19-year-old by himself. The talent in that kid, he's press resistance, he's got great passing. He might not have as good defensive attributes as Caicedo, but his other attributes are so good. He's not so polished yet, and he does fade out of games, especially games that are not televised, games that are not against big teams. He's less involved, but I feel like he's young. With age, if he's performing consistently to the level I've seen him perform, sky's the limit. I feel like Caicedo, he will reach a very high level. He will become top class, but I don't feel like there can ever be a moment where I'm like, wow, look at Caicedo. Whereas Lavia, I feel like he can have moments where he's like,
I don't think that's fair.
I think it's
blood clot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Lavia's gonna give me.
It's all coming up today.
That's it, bro.
Nah, this is an unruly one. This is an unruly out episode. I've got an opinion on that. Anyone else got an opinion
I
on
don't
that?
think that's fair, man. I think Caicedo, I think his press resistance is to a near enough. I think I'll say he's at a world class level, and I think that's kind of one of the most expensive kind of skills you can get in a midfielder. Like you've seen Enzo today, and how much that goes for, and how valuable that is to a team. I think Caicedo can where he can kind of replicate that to an extent. Obviously, where Enzo's a lot different. Where Enzo's a lot different is the playmaking. I think, but in terms of press resistance, they're kind of similar, and I think that's very, very valuable to have in your team.
You think Lavia's not press resistant?
He
100% is.
He's press resistant in the sense that he does enough to not lose possession. Whereas I think Caicedo, he's better at kind of getting you out of tight spaces and helping you to progress.
Oh, I'm not sure you've watched Lavia because that's not the case.
Okay.
That's not the case. I actually feel like
Caicedo has an amazing drop off the shoulder.
No, for sure.
amazing.
yeah.
For sure.
Don't get twisted, but Lavia is very press resistant and
Very press
very
resistant.
good at keeping the ball,
For sure.
independent of who's around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they do it to achieve a different thing. Lavia kind of
100%,
Lavia
agree.
drops the shoulder to just retain possession. Where I think Caicedo drops the shoulder to kind of
Progress
to
play.
beat his man and
Yeah.
progress
Okay.
play.
I agree.
I feel like you've seen more of that from Caicedo because he's in a system that allows him to progress playing more.
that could be a
Southampton's
factor.
system last year was very erratic, very all over the
No,
place.
that
If you look at I can't remember his name. What's that terrible manager Southampton had? Like,
Hazel Hunt.
who's Hutton?
no, it's this not him.
Oh,
after him, the one who's
the
even
Wolf
worse.
brother.
Yeah. Look who Lavia had to play under. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Playing under the Serbian, playing under Nathan Jones. Like, look at the comparison. We still saw performance after performance from Lavia. Don't get it twisted. As I said, Caicedo is a phenomenal player. He maybe can reach a world class level, but I just feel like Lavia, sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, I feel like Lavia's got a higher limit than Caicedo.
Oh,
I can
really?
agree, I
That's
can
my
agree,
point
with,
as
I can
well.
agree with that,
Okay,
but I
fair
feel like Caicedo will suit our system better than Lavia. That's the only difference I'd see with them.
I can hear your point on that.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Especially next to Enzo.
Next
I can
to
hear
Enzo.
that.
that's
Enzo
what I'm
does
saying.
enough.
Exactly. I agree with.
Yeah.
I actually
But having both is always better.
Yeah, you ain't getting both, man. God forbid. But I actually disagree with you. I feel like they're equally talented. I just feel like they're just different DMs. I just feel like I feel like the reason why both Marcuses here are kind of leaning towards Lavia is because on the ball, Lavia is more talented in that area, but but I think it's the same difference in terms of how
I get what you're saying.
much more Caicedo is more talented off the ball. So I just think it's which way you play it. And they're playing, at the end of the day, they are playing DM. So I feel like you do have to rate those two traits at least equally. But of course, we all like, do you know what I mean? We all tend to, which you kind of should. No, I don't think you should in terms of talent, but in terms of, I guess, value. If we're talking about value, I think like Lavia is more valuable for if you're talking about like, obviously Caicedo's older, but if they were both 19 and you just like, you know, we just detracted a bit of experience from Caicedo, he's more valuable because what he can give you on the ball. I think that is even one of the reasons why I think Enzo is more valuable than some of the DMs we're seeing go for crazy prices. But if we're talking about straight talent for a DM, I think it's equal. I just feel like it's just different styles.
That's a fair take.
Cool. Say nothing. What's next?
So next, let's travel up north to St. James's.